Thank you for staying with Sharaad and I on Consider This. Let's continue our conversation with YB Charles Santiago, MP for Klang, and up to about a month ago, he was also the chairman of the National Water Services Commission, or better known as SPAN. Charles, after the change in government, was the termination letter expected?
To be fair, I think it was expected, and I was also ready to hand it over, or to write in and say, okay, my term is over. But the letter came, and it came at a very wrong time for SPAN. And also, I think it also kind of scuttled a whole variety of reforms that we were trying to put forward. So
Charles, could you elaborate on precisely those reforms then? Tell us a little more about what is it that you were trying to do, what you thought was necessary to do for water management in this country?
The first thing that we did actually was to put forward an integrated plan. An integrated plan that will cover not only the SPAN itself, but cover all water and sewage providers from Malaysia. So this means that integrity will become a priority for all water providers, and they have to be transparent at every point in the contract and whatever procurement that they are involved in. And they also have to spend something like 1% of the operating expenditure in order to ensure that integrity is, ideas of integrity or notions of integrity are discussed and shared within the workforce. So at the end of the year, the entire workforce will have gone through some kind of a training and capacity building on integrity issues.
Charles, was this simply a question of wanting these higher values in the organizations, or did you see a deficit in terms of actual practices, or seeing corruption or mismanagement or any other kind of problems in which integrity was going to be the solution?
In fact, when I took over the organization, I met at least about 80 different stakeholders from a variety of organizations, academia, NGOs, and so on and so forth. And one of the important issues that was raised with me was the issue of integrity and corruption in the industry. So based on my own reading of the situation and talking to a variety of people, we got the help of NGOs as well as SPRM, who were helpful, and also the Transparency International as well, who helped us. So we had P4, Transparency International, we had SPRM themselves, as long as our own internal staff, the SPAN staff, who put together the entire plan, and it was pushed through by the Commission. The Commission endorsed it, and we have already started to get our operators in all the states to begin to embrace and begin to support the process this year. Actually, it's supposed to have been rolled out this year.
Right. Charles, do you think... Can I just get your thoughts on whether you think this COVID-19 crisis will actually diminish environmental concerns and concerns of reform of environmental institutions?
I think, there is a tendency for that to happen because priority, everybody's talking about COVID and health as a priority, and it should be a priority. Health should be a priority. But I also think environment should be thought through very carefully and also as a priority of the nation. Because the environment, you need to protect the environment. And it is something that you don't postpone for another day. You do it on the spot. And I think at this time, we already have a problem with our environment, especially our rivers. Our rivers are very polluted, are highly polluted. We have what you call pharmaceutical pollution in the rivers. We have plastic pollution. We have chemical pollution. We have electronic waste pollution in the rivers, as well as and sewage pollution as well in our rivers. So our rivers are very, 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 very contaminated.
And quickly, Charles, are there sufficient laws to protect our rivers and our water catchment areas?
Catchment areas, one, we have what we call it, we can, what do you call it, the nice word for it, but it's not coming to my head right now. You can, catchment areas need to be completely cut away from development.
Okay, well, what about rivers then? Are there sufficient laws to protect rivers?
I was trying to put forward the idea there was a need for a national river protection authorities, which is a standalone idea where you protect the river, and rivers should be considered as national security. This is something that you have to do. You look at Klang, for example. We had a problem with seepage of chemicals into the treatment plant in September of last year, and it happened again in December of last year, and a few weeks ago it happened again. So this is going to repeat itself, and people are going to keep on polluting the river, and this is going to impact on the water that we drink, and the river itself. So therefore, my view is that once you create you make water, especially rivers, as part of security, national security, then you will protect it. And therefore, the suggestion that is being put forward is you create space on both sides of the river, and you cannot have any development on both sides of that river. Okay. This is something that has to be done and will be monitored by the police, by auxiliary police if necessary, and different parts of the country. Maybe you can't do it for the entire country,
right,
but on very critical points you can still do it.
Charles, thank you so much for speaking with us. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have on tonight's edition of Consider This. We appreciate your time and your insights. I'm Melisa, Idris, with me, Sharaad, Kuttan, signing off for this evening. Thank you so much and have a great weekend. Thank you for watching and good night.